What's up, guys? Don McMoney here from Point Fitness, and today we're going to wrap up the big three with the deadlift, my personal favorite. I've been doing deadlifts since I was in high school, and I love them ever since. They're great for athletes since they work the entire posterior chain, which consists of your hamstrings, your glutes, your lats, erector spinae, which is the muscle that runs right along the back of your spine, and even external obliques, your internal obliques, transverse abdominis, and your diaphragm for bracing. So this is an excellent exercise to do. It should be incorporated in each and every single one of your programs. Now the deadlift, it's very versatile. So there's different stances that you could do that's accustomed to either your goals or even your body. The athletes or anyone that's a little bit taller torso would go more conventional. So what conventional is, it's your stance is shoulder width apart, right? It requires a little more hip dominance, which I'll show you later. But feet shoulder width apart, and hands are outside the grip. So going down to the bar, of course, we have the hip hinge, right? So that's going back to the very first video that we did. And this follows for all three of the stances that I'm going to show you. So we're going to have a hip hinge, right? Arm straight, so we incorporate the lats, right? So squeeze your lats as hard as you can while reaching for the floor. Hips go back. Once your hips are fully sitting back, now you can start bending the knee. Keep the hips up. Grab the bar, and here's that stance, right? So you see my feet are shoulder width apart in a more athletic stance, so I could jump and be a little more explosive. Now the sumo deadlift, that seems to be the most popular. I was using sumo deadlift right after I finished college baseball because I just wanted to try. I wanted to see what the hype was about. I loved it. What a sumo deadlift is, it's the name kind of says it all. You're wider, right? You're a whole lot wider. It's less stress on your hips and lower back. So if you have any past hip injuries or lower back problems, I would recommend this. It requires a little bit more of some quads. Definitely hamstrings are going to take a grunt of the load. And same rules apply. You want to have your arms straight, squeeze your lats, hip hinge back, right, until your hips are fully back. Reach the bar, and now you're here. So as you can see, now my stance is a little bit wider. Not so much athletic, so you're not going to be able to jump from this position as you would on the field or anything. So that kind of separates the two with the sumo conventional. A lot of powerlifters use this. Lane Norton is a great guy to look to if you're thinking about using the sumo deadlift. He explains this thing to the T. Now the third one that we give our clients is a mixture of both, and we like to call this the hybrid. So it's a little bit just outside shoulder width. You still get the hips back, right? And now the hands are still inside the knees, so that's where the sumo part of the sumo. But now you're still in that athletic stance to still get a good jump like the conventional. Same rules apply, guys. Lats tight, hips back, and you want to make your way down and grip the bar. So that's what it looks like in the front side. So after checking out the anterior view, now we're going to talk about the lateral side of this. And the main thing is your back position. Make sure you're hip hinging, and that's on line. So things that we see a lot, certain conversations about lower back. A lot of people complain about lower back pain when they're deadlifting, and it's for one plain reason. Same thing with the squat. It's when we're going down, we kind of get that, butt wink going on in that curve, right? So what you want to do, and a lot of times too on the way up, it looks like a pull, right? So with the deadlift, it's still a push, right, guys? So when you're deadlifting, think of it like a leg press. So and the bar is kind of your go-to thing. It tells you everything with the timing. So it's a mixture of a leg press and a glute bridge, right? I'll show you why. So from here at the bottom, right, we set up nice and straight, right? Make sure the spine's nice control, lats are tight, and here's where the leg press comes into play. So from here, we're pushing the ground away until we reach the knee. Once we get to the knee, now it's a glute bridge. Push your hips forward, right? Now on the way back, hips go back, hip hinge, drop straight down. Bend the bar, hear that cling, right guys? So when you hear that cling, that's me bending the bar with my lats. That's where the lats kick in, right? So you want to squeeze the lats in as if you're trying to bend the bar into a U shape with your lats, okay? So you hear that cling, hear the cling, got it. Now you want to feel the weight in your hands. You don't just want to cling and then put and pull, right? Because that can get a little low back pain as well. So hear the cling, lats active, feel the weight in your hands, push, leg press, glute bridge, hips back, down, leg press, glute bridge, hips back, and go. So there's never any pulling, right? This is what like a pulling would seem like without any, without any bracing, without any, contracting the lats or anything like that. So it'll just be here, and we pull right around here, right? That's one, and that will destroy your lower back. The second one is you come up and you pull from your traps. So this kind of kicks in, and now you're curving your spine and your traps are taking the whole grunt and the load, and you make your way down. So it kind of looks like a cat whenever he's trying to get, scare somebody. So that's an anterior view. Now there's some more in-depth details that go into this. The next cue is bar path. So if you're looking at the bar, you want to make sure that's going in a straight line, right, up and down, as if it's on basically a Smith machine, but don't use a Smith machine. It's just as a reference. So this bar has to go up and down, right? The bar clip has to go up and down. But the placement of it as well is pretty important. So it doesn't matter if you're doing sumo, conventional, or if you want to try the hybrid. You want the bar clip, right, to be in line with the armpit or even like with your scap, right? Your scapula is right around here, guys. So you want to make sure that's working. Because now the thing is, if we go too far back, right, and we're not in a line, let's say like this, and it's in line with our shoulders, now when we lift, now we're basically doing a squat, and when we come up, now we're using more of that lower back, and the tension is not being used in the posterior chain. Your hamstring is not involved, your glutes are not so much involved. And if you're leaning too far forward, same thing, that's going to be quad dominant, and you might start rounding this way. So when you're set up, you want to make sure that the clip is in line with your scap and the bar stays straight along with your shins. On the way down, same thing. You want to push the bar in with your lats and stay in line with your shins. If you feel like whenever you're coming up and that bar starts going forward, drop it immediately. All right, don't start lifting it. It's going to cause some pain. So as you can see here, the bar position alongside my foot is important as well. If you see my right side, it's a little bit further out than my left. And what you want to do is you want to make sure the bar is going right across the ball of your foot. So I have to bring that just a little bit more. And here's my stance. So right from here, this is a good bar path to be in. You don't want the bar to be in line with your toes or too far back on your shin, because that will affect the placement of the bar in line with your scap. So you want the foot placement to look something similar to this, guys, along with the bar to your foot. So now back to the sumo. As you remember, the sumo deadlift, we're a whole lot wider of a stance. And the cue is going to be a little different from the floor to the knee in reference to the bar. So when you're going down, it's, the same rules apply, guys, but on the way up, you don't want to necessarily think push down like a leg press. You want to think split the floor in half right in front of you, right? Like we used to tell clients, like, think of Moses, right? Split the water in half so you can walk through. So right down the middle, that's where you want to crack the floor. So when you get in here, guys, the same rules. Big breath in, squeeze the lats, feel the weight, spread the floor, and now from here, push forward again. Hips back, down. Same rules, guys. The bar has to stay in line with your shins. Squeeze the lats, spread the floor, and lock in. And let's send the way back. So there you have it, guys. Those are the deadlifts, conventional, hybrid, now sumo. Give those a shot. Let us know what you think. Later on throughout the month, we're going to talk about ways to improve the big three. Stay tuned and find out some more. Thanks, guys.